Hi, I hope everybody is doing well. As we're about to enter Chanukah, I thought I'd pass along the following message. When we used to go to Chanukah shows, so the youngest, the child who is the shamish, the one who goes to the other and lights all the other candles, has the biggest role because as opposed to the most of the candles where just a child steps up in order to be the candle, the shamish actually goes from candle to candle and actually has a more active role. So it seems like the shamash is the most important candle. But then as we grow older, we realize that, well, it's probably not, because it's not really part of the mitzvah. The mitzvah are the main candles, and the shamash is there to light those other candles, but not actually part of the mitzvah. And then we learn also the idea that the shamash is there because we're not supposed to benefit from the candles, and the shamash somehow allows us to do so. So, as the candles themselves are considered to have a high level of sanctity, we shouldn't try to benefit from them. The Shamish allows us to, but that's pretty difficult because if you ever walk by a menorah, so if it's the fifth night of Hanukkah, so there's six candles, one of them is the Shamish, and the Shamish is providing only 15% of the light. So, how does that resolve the issue? So, most of the authorities, and we discussed this in Shul the other night, most authorities assume that the purpose of the shamish is not to make it so that you are not gaining light from others. Rather, the goal is that the menorah has to be something that reminds us of the miracle, something that reminds us of the mitzvah, something that reminds us of Hashem. If we're just going to use the candle in order to read or in order to be able to count our money, as the Gemara says, so then that's not going to remind us of the miracle. So the shamish is there to make it a unusual candles, an unusual lighting, and therefore we can look at it and say, "Aha, that's a special candle, not just for our private use, but for something that's going to remind us of Hakadosh Baruch Hu's presence, of God's miracles for us, and God's kindness for us." So as we get to this year, this Hanukkah, so this Hanukkah is almost the Shamish of Hanukkahs because it is the unusual aspect, the unusualness of this. And we're not going to celebrate perhaps in the way that we normally would. We're not going to get together with the people that we normally would, and that perhaps has been the theme of the last 9, 10 months. That it's we're not doing the things that we otherwise would, but yet we have to find ways in order to be misamech, in order to be joyful, in order to be happy, and perhaps the unusual year is able to remind us um, of the specialness and uniqueness, and we'll be able to appreciate more some of the specialness of other years. So that has perhaps been a theme of throughout this period of when things are unusual, perhaps we appreciate those things that we're able to either have with us even during this time, such as close family and friends and things like that, and also appreciate that which perhaps we often take for granted. So as we head into Hanukkah, we should, both aspects, perhaps miss what we are going to miss, but appreciate that the things that we have, and appreciate the fact that hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to get back and appreciate more um, the aspects of our lives that perhaps we've had to sacrifice over the last couple of months. So I wish everybody a Chag Kosher v'Sameach. Those that we'll see, I look forward to seeing you. Those that we won't, so I hope to be able to see you very soon. Chag Sameach.